What's the problem with the programmed drums? Well, they sound bloody robotic and inhuman. And why is that? Contrary to popular belief, it's not because of how software drums sound. In fact, many modern records have solely programmed drums that sound rather realistic and enjoyable. Programmed drums often sound bad because someone with no drumming experience programs them. And yep, that's you, the guitarist, and myself included. Metal music is guitar-driven. Most of the songs are composed by guitarists, at least in the initial stages. And us guitarists have no clue of how to play drums and therefore program the parts the right way. So today, you will learn how to program drums that both match your guitar riffs, sound human, and don't suck ass. Let's go! Let's listen to the drums before and after. Before represents drums programmed in Guitar Pro or Piano Roll. These ones here. I mean, it doesn't sound too bad, but to me it gets really annoying and repetitive, and some parts are incredibly boring and robotic, not the way the human would have played them. And now after, parts played by a real drummer on an electronic drum kit. So much more energy, so much more detail and some intricacies. And although this part may not be the final that you would have chosen for this production, because I just came up with this on the fly for this video for you, it represents overall the dynamics and the feel that real drummer playing on a MIDI kit would give to your music. So this to me sounds more realistic and more human. Hey, I'm Dr. Mike Trubetskov, the mad scientist of metal, and I'm here to bring value which I think you already know about. So, like and subscribe to get this out. And also, I'm starting to offer some very exclusive offers to my email list subscribers, such as one-on-one consultations on tones and productions, mix reviews, and things like that, which will be growing as well. So if you want that, subscribe to my email list, link in description. Let's go! Default way to program metal drums. Back in the day, us guitarists used Guitar Pro to program drums. Clunky, slow and inefficient, it took hours to dial in the basic part. We have then progressed to Piano Roll drum programming with little improvement to the quality of your drum results. Now both ways are acceptable, yet give a super robotic sounding drums. What brings your drums down while using these methods is the following. Kick and snare pattern with no variation in duration and velocity. Repetitive cymbal pattern with no diversity whatsoever. Feels that are impossible to perform live. Instead of trying to write these parts without a drumming experience, let an experienced drummer do it for you. So this is a project where I grabbed MIDI from pre-production stages of the Overcoming project, song Overcoming, and I grabbed the drum MIDI from Guitar Pro. Let's take a listen to this part now, just the chorus, all right? These drums do not sound anywhere near anything that you would like to carry through into your final production. They sound super robotic, super static, boring, annoying, and therefore fatiguing to your listener. You can see that the velocity is all set to 127. Kick and snare patterns are boring and flat. They do match the guitar riffs and they are not super simple. They are 100% gridded clearly, because that's what happens when you create drum patterns on Piano Roll or in Guitar Pro, and they do not shuffle or do not contain any groove whatsoever. So now let's see how we can improve this and improve them fast. We need a fast solution to this problem, right? The method. Now, to get this method working, unfortunately, you do need a specific piece of software, and that is Superior Drummer 3. Although the tones that you get from Superior Drummer aren't as modern as your GGD, for instance, one feature is invaluable, and that is tap to find mode. This feature analyzes your MIDI patterns and spits out the MIDI grooves played by real drummers on an E-kit that are close to your part. Therefore, you get the best of both worlds, a part that is compatible with your riff and that is played by a real drummer and therefore sounds good. Let's dive into it and see how we can dial this in. So now let's look into the method that can solve this problem fast for you. All you need to have is Superior Drummer 3 switched to this tap to find mode, and now you do need your drum part programmed to some extent, at least your kick and snare pattern in Piano Roll or Guitar Pro. And so let's feed this pattern into Superior Drummer to see what it comes up with. I know that here in GGD free grooves, there are some decent ones. Let's take a listen. This one is very close. And so now, once you've selected the pattern that you are somewhat happy with, just drag and drop in here without inputting the tempo, and you start editing it accordingly. Say, this one here. We'll need some of the hits shifted, mixed and matched, and it also doesn't start with the right cymbal. Our part starts with the right cymbal. So, in order to make this happen, instead of trying to program the right cymbal, I suggest you just browse another library. Maybe this one? This one is good. So, again, we just grab that part in a different place, and all we have to do is grab the part that is of interest, because it contains the velocity and duration information that makes it human. Just paste it in here and take a listen now. And now all the work that we have to do is make sure that this matches to our guitar riff properly. So and also the kicks are of low velocity, so I'd actually bring that up. But still, we have variation rather than flat 127 from Guitar Pro. This is already sounding pretty exciting. So I'll just spend some time and come back to you with the finalized part here. Alright, I initially recorded this whole process of building this part for you and going through all of these MIDI libraries, only to realize that this is incredibly boring to watch, so I'm gonna just skip that and summarize the main parts that you may benefit of highlighting. The whole process was selecting the right part, which we've done together, then modifying the kick and snare patterns to match to your guitar riff, and that you can do just by moving kicks and snares around the existing MIDI part and preserving the MIDI velocities, therefore they still sound somewhat human. And then mixing and matching certain parts from different libraries. As we've done with the right cymbal, the next part to highlight is this double kick here, for which you just find a double kick groove and copy the double kicks from. Let's do that, by the way. This one sounds the best. Obviously, just grab enough and copy them over here. like this. Take a listen to the result. There you go. Are they gridded? No, they are not. And they have variation in velocity. And you can do the very same thing for the longer double kick pattern as well. And finally, the important bit is fills. If we look into this fragment here, which requires a fill, sometimes you can spend hours looking for the right fill in your libraries, which is fine too, or you can program the fill very, very roughly. Let's do that with the piano roll. Basic, right? And now feed this into Superior Drummer 3. That's what tab to find is being fed with, and now we look through the fields, through the libraries. No. No. And that's the feel that I envisioned and depicted, at least the second half of it. So again, we mix and match. We grab that in and we take a listen. There you have it. A real feel played by a real drummer, no octopus hands, sounds cool. Now let's listen to the whole lot and draw our conclusions. Once again, before... after. My main conclusion is that before sounds really robotic, super tight to the grid, like a robot basically played the part, which is the case. And after still sounds quite rather like programmed drums, but it has more energy, it pushes forward. So programmed drums are rarely a sacrifice for real human performance, so in case you do have a drummer in your band, let them play on E-kit, if anything, if you cannot afford a big studio and big studio recording. Let them play on E-kit, therefore you can capture their real performance, all the mistakes, and then clean them up in MIDI rather than trying to come up with this. But this would be a very, very decent step forward towards more natural, more real and more honest drum sound and performance for your productions. So this is it for dialing in better programmed drums for your productions and compositions. Obviously this method does have some limitations. You clearly need Superior Drummer 3 for it to work, and you do need some MIDI libraries. However, if used properly, you can quickly achieve good results and make your drums sound, well, human, because humans play them, and you just modify them to your needs. I hope that this helps when you're writing your next metal track, and hit me up if you have any questions. Until next time, cheers and take care.